Hey guys, Goggsy here and welcome to Pass the Mic News. It is a new series on the channel. Recently I've not really done much in the way of making videos of my own, so I've decided to come up with a new refreshing idea, and we're going to have a news sort of show on the channel, and we're just going to talk about what happens in Scottish football. This is the Europa League edition, in which we'll be looking at Motherwell's opponents, Glentoran, and Aberdeen's opponents, NSI Runavík, in the Europa League first qualifying round. But first, here's a disclaimer. Recently I've only really been doing streams for live matchday content, because I've just thought, well, Motherwell have been doing pretty badly. We've got 2 points out of 5 games. We're third bottom at the moment. It's not that great, but Glentoran will certainly be licking their lips if they look at the way we've been playing over the last few weeks. But before we talk about the rest about Motherwell versus Glentoran, here's Kobe Henderson on what he thinks about Aberdeen versus NSI Runavík.
Aberdeen are facing Runavik in our first game in Europe this season, but they've already played after they pumped Barrytown 5-1 with a second half hat-trick from their captain. I mean, you choose for yourself whether you think the home advantage we've got will help us here. They're in decent form as well. They're more than halfway through their season, which will make them more match sharp and match fit than us. I mean, we were just kicking off and we weren't playing for ages, but, you know, we're in decent form ourselves. We've only lost 1 game and it was to Rangers, so, I mean, I'm not complaining with that record, but they're third in the league and they've got a few good players, as I mentioned earlier. Olsen's probably the one to watch out for. We've got a few good players as well now, especially with Ross McCrory coming in and Marley Watkins. I think they'll add a bit. So, you know, I'd hope we can win, and maybe even convincingly. But, you know, it's Europe, it's the first round. It's one of these teams that could easily put us out. So, you know, I'll take anything. I think it'll be... I'll go with a 3-1 Aberdeen win. You know, that's quite confident coming from me. I'm usually a 1-0, 2-1 guy. So, yeah, I'll take 3-1.
Thank you, Kobe, and now we're going to talk about Motherwell versus Glentoran. Yes, this is the main feature because I am a Motherwell fan, in case you didn't know. In future episodes we will be talking about more Scottish football happenings. However, this is mainly a main feature for Motherwell against Glentoran, because it's the first time Motherwell have been playing in European competition for 6 years, since the Stjarnan disaster, in which we were 2-0 up at home, then drew the game 2-8 due to 2 penalties, and then we lost 3-2 in extra time in Iceland. No, I did not want to bring that up, but something was nagging me, so I had to bring it up. But anyway, seeing as we haven't really played well with our 4-3-3 in recent matches, because we've mainly been playing against park buses, apart from Hibernian, I reckon we should go with a 4-4-2 formation and try and spice it up a bit. We'll go with, in goals, Trevor Carson; right back, Stephen O'Donnell; centre halves, Gallagher, Mugabe; left back, Ricky Lamy; on the right, Sherwin Seedorf. The 2 centre mids, Turnbull, I believe, is going to Celtic. That is the imminent news, and it's been bugging me for weeks, but it's finally going through apparently. Don't take this as gospel, but that is apparently what's happening. So, with 2 midfielders, I would go with Alan Campbell as the holding role, the ball-winning midfielder, with Liam Polworth as a deep-line playmaker, and spraying passes out wide to Jermaine Hilton, that's on the left, and Sherwin Seedorf on the right. See what I did there? I would have Jermaine Hilton on the left, and then 2 up front with Jordan White and Callum Lang, the sort of one being the runner, one being the target man to sort of hold up play and lay it off to the 2 wingers. If we go with that, I think we should try that, because the thing is, Glentoran will be bringing the same sort of gameplay that the likes of Hamilton, Dundee United have taken to us, and sort of held back and waited for their opportunity, because the only way you're going to beat Motherwell, unless you're Celtic or Rangers, because you'll beat us easily, the only way teams like Hamilton, Ross County, Dundee United have been coming to Motherwell or playing against Motherwell and picking up the 3 points is because they sit back and allow Motherwell to make their own mistakes, because that's how you're going to let us just fuck it up for ourselves, if I'm being honest. That's it in a nutshell, really. I mean, if you're talking about the Hamilton Accies game, because I know for a fact Accies fans will be wanting to know what I've got to say, Hamilton Accies had 3 great chances that you could easily say if they'd missed it, each and every one of them, he should have scored that. Whereas Motherwell didn't have any clear-cut chances. So, we've got to work on that against Glentoran. You see the bookies, we're like 1-5. And Glentoran are 10-1 to win this game. Let's take that out of perspective. Like, it doesn't matter. This is a one-off game. It's it is your classic cup tie. It is David against Goliath. I'm not wanting to build anything up, but Motherwell are the favourites to win this game quite handsomely. We cannot afford to rest on our laurels, because you know what can happen, and it's happened 3 times already this season. Every game we've lost by a goal and we've not scored in. The only game we've actually played good in my opinion, is the Hibs game, because they played an open game. And if it's an open game, we'll win the game by 3 or 4 goals. But if Glentoran come and park the bus and play their hoofball like they did against HB Tórshavn, because I watched the game, it was an awful match. It was on a waterlogged park, and the ball was just going over each midfield. I mean, Gail Bigirimana, who plays for Glentoran, got man of the match. Although all he had good going for him was his set pieces, and he didn't take many of those either. We really have to be on our game. We can't afford to concede stupid free kicks or corners like we have been doing this season, because Stephen Robinson works hard on these set plays in the training ground, and the fact that most of our goals we've conceded have been from dead ball situations, and then indirectly from a dead ball situation, such as the goal against Dundee United, it's a real worry, and things have to change. Because we've won 1 game in 15 league matches apparently, and that reflects badly on not just me but the whole club. Yeah, hopefully Motherwell can get back to winning ways on Thursday, and we need 2 results out of the following. There's a graphic now coming up on the screen. We need 2 of the seeded teams that are just following here to lose their ties, and then we're into the seeded if we win for the second qualifying round. Now, the one game that stands out for me that's definitely, in my opinion, a shout for a seeded team to be knocked out is the New Saints against MSK Zolina of Slovakia, because, well, Zolina's a decent side. The New Saints, you know, they are regular winners of the Welsh League. However, Connah's Key nicked it last season, but I reckon the New Saints will come unstuck here. And another game that could be another shout for an upset could be Malmo against Cracovia of Poland. Also, for selfish reasons, we could have Aberdeen get knocked out by NSI Runavík, and that would be a good result for us, but not good for the Scottish coefficient. I mean, I want Aberdeen to go through, so it'd have to be 2 of 16 ties that sees an underdog technically come up with a result. And most of the seeded teams are at home, so it's going to be difficult. It's going to be a difficult thing to see. But with some nations not even allowing fans yet, there could be some away wins, because for example, the Scottish League this season, so far there's been more away wins than anything, and then since the Bundesliga came back, you only saw about 20% of home wins, which was a real shock. But yeah, it's going to be a difficult game to watch, I think, on Thursday. I reckon it'll be a regular case of Motherwell dictating the play, and if we don't score an early goal, it'll be panic stations, because the thing is, if we don't score an early goal, then it's going to be up in the air. The longer the game's going to go on, the more doubt's going to creep in, and then Glentoran will get that one chance, and boom, we'll be out of Europe without even being in with a chance of being in the next round. So that'll be a bit of a shock. But yeah, that's that. Anyway, guys, that was my preview of Motherwell against Glentoran. I'm really hopeful. But at the same time, Gail Biggery-Mana now plays for Glentoran, and it's written in the stars for him to score in the last minute to put us out. But yeah, anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video, and I hope to be bringing more of these to you. And sometimes it won't be all Motherwell centric. We might have 2 or 3 episodes up a week, depending on how busy or hectic Scottish football is. You know what it's like. And yeah, we'll see you later. Take care.